So moving on to our next story, Toonami is getting another hour. Yes, that's right, another hour added onto its block. Now, by the time this video comes out, this podcast comes out, the hour would have already been added. But, so you will have already experienced it if you're watching Toonami. Now, if you're not watching Toonami, maybe you've dropped off the bandwagon, or maybe you are, but again, this is still news to you regardless. Maybe you didn't watch that week, whatever it might be. Let's talk about what's new, what might have been moved around. Definitely some stuff has been moved around. And let's talk about why I don't think that this is... I do wonder, will Toonami take over the entire channel? Will it just be Cartoon Network? I don't know. But is this a bad idea, and did they make some wrong decisions? I'm going to be relatively pro Toonami, but I will be confused a little bit here and there. And so let's talk about the schedule right now. So, 9 p.m., Dragon Ball Z Kai. I don't think that's a bad choice. I really don't. I know there are some people saying online, but I've already seen it. Then that's cool. You maybe weren't even going to be home to tune into Toonami at that time. So then you don't watch that half an hour. Now, I know that might seem, to some people, they're like, how dare you, sir? Oh, I'm not working with Toonami. I'm not running things there. I'm just saying that I don't think it's a bad choice because this is new content that they're adding to the block. Not Kai, of course. No. Not Kai isn't the new content. The new content is just another slot in general. Now, you could say, but I wanted them to add more anime into that slot. Yeah, but then they have to pay for more anime to license. It's also a new slot, so if Dragon Ball Z Kai doesn't do as well as they'd like, they can easily axe that and either throw in another older anime there or make it only 9:30 to 3:30. So it's much easier to axe something that has already been shown once rather than try to put on something new, and if it flounders, then that anime, they don't know, is the anime tainted? Is that the problem? Whatever this new anime is that the problem? Or is the problem that we added on a new slot at 9? So if Kai proves to be fruitful, then they could add something new after, in my opinion. Now, I know Kai is long, to be fair, so that is also another issue. But the reason why I think Kai is a good choice is because of the fact that, because this is earlier, because this is earlier, they're clearly trying to get a younger demographic. So I assume that at 9, because they have edited versions of Kai, they're probably going to be showing those. So I do wonder if they're going to be showing edited versions of Kai, then they might be trying to get in younger fans who have never seen Dragon Ball. Remember, there are younger people out there who have never seen Dragon Ball Z. It might seem like a crazy concept, but it is true. So, there are people out there who've never seen Dragon Ball Z, or if they do know about Dragon Ball Z, maybe they've either read the manga. I've read the manga more than I've seen the show, actually. I've seen the whole show, don't get me wrong. But I've read the manga more than I've seen the show because it's 296 episodes. I can't do that all the time. But I can easily pick up part of the manga, read that, have a good time. And so when it comes to Dragon Ball Z Kai, I have rewatched that through Toonami. But again, there's some people who might not have. There's some people who might be tuning in to Toonami for the first time, or it's only their first year. And Dragon Ball Z Kai, it might seem like it aired just yesterday, but the final chapters did. Dragon Ball Z Kai ended, maybe like 2-3 years ago at this point. I know it sounds crazy. You're like, no, Matt, that can't be true. But Super has been on the air for almost 2 years, and Super started around the same time final chapters started. So the original Dragon Ball Z Kai has actually ended a while ago. Now, it might seem like it's aired a lot because, they have that Nicktoons version, and it was on Kids WB, Toonzai. Then it ended up being on, on Toonami, and also Cartoon Network a little bit here and there thrown around. So it does seem like Kai's been on forever, but I feel like it's debatable. And again, even if you don't want to watch it, that's fine. You don't have to. So 9:30, My Hero Academia. Now, I don't know if they're showing edited versions of that, if they have edited versions of that. No idea. I don't know much about My Hero Academia. I want to watch it. I just have not had the chance to. But I will say, though, that clearly I would imagine it isn't as violent as some of the stuff that's coming on later on Toonami during that block. So 9:30 for My Hero Academia, I think that makes sense. So, and again, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that makes sense. A lot of younger fans watching My Hero Academia. I mean, I remember, speaking of even some stuff that's going to come up later, like Boruto, which we do know that that's coming on the block. Speaking of that, and My Hero Academia and Boruto, when I was a speech and debate coach, a lot of the teenagers who really enjoyed, I said the teenagers, holy shit, how old am I? A lot of my students that enjoyed anime loved Boruto and loved My Hero Academia and enjoyed Super as well. So it makes sense that those are earlier. Though Super hasn't really changed. It's not necessarily earlier. But when it comes to Boruto My Hero Academia, makes sense that My Hero Academia is on at 9:30. And then we have at 10 p.m. Naruto Shippuden. That's an odd choice. Because I thought Shippuden was a bit more risque, I imagined. Although, I should mention, there were edited versions of Naruto Shippuden aired on Disney XD. But I don't think they were aired up until the point where Shippuden is at now. I can say words, everyone. This is what I do for a living, damn it. So with Shippuden, I would imagine that there's an edited version, but I could swear that they didn't get that far. Either way, though, maybe it isn't as bad as they thought, or maybe they have, ways of cutting it down, not like, abridging or actually editing the full content, but they have ways of making it a little bit nicer. For that 10 p.m. time slot. Or they don't care, which could also be an option. They don't care, but they still want to skew younger, and they definitely want to get in some of those youths that may have gone to Crunchyroll and other streaming services and kind of left cable. Not the ones that have to pay for cable, because they left and they're probably not coming back. The 20-somethings that, aren't paying for cable, they left. They're probably not coming back. But those that are, still living with their families and stuff like that, and, skew a lot younger, again, like teenagers and stuff like that, they probably want them back, and I do think that My Hero Academia and Boruto at 10:30 will help. Now, again, Naruto Shippuden at 10, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not, I'm not a good... But I will say that it is funny that Shippuden and Boruto are a Naruto Power Hour. So I do find that to be funny. And remember, Boruto is having its first episode air on the September 29th. It will have already aired by the time this is out. And I do think that, as someone who hasn't finished Shippuden but knows enough of what happened, I might actually jump into Boruto. And I think maybe they want me as well. Someone who's just like, you know what happened at the end of Shippuden. You know. It's too long to finish. Just come watch this one. And I'm like, maybe I should. So I do wonder if they're trying to even get someone like myself interested in Boruto. And again, very early at 10:30. Now, after that, though, we move into Dragon Ball Super at 11. Super is Super, so be it. Nothing against Super. I love Super. It's just, I assume there's no changes to Super. That's 11. 11:30 is Fooly Cooly Alternative. And that's where things, I think, start to get weird and a bit more risque, arguably, as the night kind of goes into this very interesting, this very bizarre, set of shows. 12, we have Attack on Titan, and that's, in my opinion, that's, I think, where we really start to go, okay, so people are getting ripped to pieces. They're gonna get eaten. They're gonna get eaten. It's just how the world works. Attack on Titan, 12 a.m. And then 12 is that only people are getting fucking eaten. Holy shit. Only Toonami. And then 12:30 is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable. So we're right there. Immediately we're going bizarre at 12:30. But something that I do want to note is thus far, out of all the shows thus far, almost every single one is airing new episodes. And I think we should focus on that more than we should focus on the fact that Dragon Ball Z Kai exists on the block. Like, oh, damn it, there's new Kai. Or there's, old Kai. Boo. It's like, okay, fair. I'm not going to say you shouldn't boo it. But at 9:30, new My Hero Academia. And I know some of you are going to be like, but it's out already on the internet. New to television, I know. Especially because My Hero Academia was, if I remember correctly, was dubbed on Hulu. But still, new to US TV does matter as well. So My Hero Academia, Naruto Shippuden, not new. I'll be, that's true. Not new. Unless they caught up and they're airing the stuff that is coming out on DVDs within the next few months as they kind of wrap up Shippuden. That's not new. Boruto, new. Dragon Ball Super, new. And again, new to TV, new. And also the dub, if I remember correctly, it doesn't air on Funimation's streaming service before it airs on Toonami, so it's new. The dub, at least, is new to everybody. Not just new to American TV, new to everyone. Fooly Cooly, new, not even aired in Japan yet. So that's Fooly Cooly Alternative, new. Attack on Titan, yes, a few weeks behind compared to Crunchyroll, but still the dub is new. Diamond is Unbreakable, new dub for television, because I'm pretty sure the DVDs are not out, I thought. I thought the DVDs for JoJo nowadays come out after they air on TV. Unsure. But then we move on to 1 a.m. and we move on to Black Clover. And that one confuses me. Black Clover really confuses me because it's jumped around on the block, and I thought it was over. So is Black Clover over? I don't know. And I don't mean over as like the pro wrestling term, like is it popular? No, I'm wondering if it's over and it's getting the later slot because, oh yeah, it's, it's an anime that, it's finished and we're just re-airing it. But I'm only confused because of the fact that Black Clover is at 1 a.m. and then Hunter x Hunter is at 1:30. I was under the impression that the entirety of Hunter x Hunter was dubbed on DVD, and they were just airing it because people love Hunter x Hunter. Again, I remember, my former students liking Hunter x Hunter. So I thought they were airing that, even though, it's not new to DVD, it's new to US television, and I thought they would keep that earlier. But I also should remember, and I think all of us should, is that now everything past 1 a.m. just seems super duper duper late, because it starts at 9 p.m. now. We should note that as well, to be fair. But it is kind of funny. I'm like, wow, Hunter x Hunter is so late. Matt, it's almost in the exact same slot that it was, if not the exact same slot that it used to be. Now it just seems like it's later. And then after 1:30 a.m., we get into the reruns. We get into your One Punch Mans at 2, 2:30 Lupin the Third Part 4, which I'm pretty sure at this point, yes, Lupin the Third in general has been played on Toonami before, but I'm pretty sure Part 4 is not new to Toonami. I don't think Part 4 is new to Toonami. And if it is, that's actually pretty cool, but of course, Lupin the Third Part 4 is an older property, so it would make sense that it would air late night regardless. 3 a.m. Cowboy Bebop, and wrapping it all up at 3:30 a.m. Samurai Jack. So, yeah, of course, when we get to 2 a.m. and after, it's reruns of stuff, as always, right? But I do think that compared to that new content, those reruns are just fine. I will admit, though, and this might just be because, I'm friends with Tristan, and Tristan used to work a job that was late nights, so he would come back and he would see the earlier block of Toonami replayed past a certain point. And I'll admit, I do think maybe, it would be nice if, even though he doesn't work late nights now, but, he does hang out with some mutual friends of ours. So I do think it would be nice for some of, those anime fans out there who work late night and who don't have DVR and who really want to support Toonami and watch it, the next day, if from 2 to 4 they did replay, not Kai, it would be hilarious if they replayed Kai, but they replay like My Hero Academia, Super, Fooly Cooly, and Boruto. Not trying to shit on the rest, but you can't just replay every single new show because of all the new shit that they added. But still, I don't know. I feel as if there's more new than there is not new, and I feel like this block is one of the strongest blocks that we've seen on Toonami for a very long time. Now, you can say it's not diverse. I actually hear you. I get where you're coming from. It's mostly action-oriented, if not outright shonen. So in that regard, I totally get where you're coming from. But I do think that the heavy hitters that we have are heavy. These are some really strong anime to come right out with and to have coming show after show after show after show. And again, the majority of the block is new. At least the earlier part of it is new. I mean, again, new My Hero Academia, new Boruto, potentially eventually, new Shippuden, new Super, new Fooly Cooly Alternative, new Attack on Titan, new Diamond is Unbreakable, potentially new Black Clover, I still don't know, and new Hunter x Hunter. So 8 to 10 new shows, 8 to 10 new shows out of this entire block. To me, that's a strong block. And another good thing, too, is with some of these shows, not the earlier ones, to be fair. Actually, no, even with My Hero Academia, that one could end soon, quote-unquote, due to the fact that it's not, it's a bit more like One Punch Man and Attack on Titan, where they only have a certain amount aired per season, very much unlike, Kai and Shippuden and Boruto. But still, I think those were good additions, because if you don't like My Hero Academia, it will eventually get changed. Attack on Titan, if you don't like that, will eventually be changed. Fooly Cooly will in a few months as well. Diamond is Unbreakable, you have to give that one a year to be fair. And then by the time, that year is up, they might even be hopefully airing part 5. So I will admit, yes, there are some shows, don't get me wrong, that you're going to have to wait a long time for. But At the same time, I do think that this is one of the strongest lineups, and if you disagree, that's cool. I do think that some of these shows are short enough that you can tune in and you'll get something else that you might like. Hopefully something with some more variety, a bit like how Pop Team Epic, was something a little bit different on the channel. I hope it did well, because if it did, I said on the channel, dear God, how much on YouTube am I? Still, either way, I think it did well. Pop Team, I hope it did well, Pop Team Epic. And if it did, then we might even get some more, some changed up things on Toonami, some more variety. And I do think that would help as well. I think bringing back Hamtaro would be the funniest thing, or something like Hamtaro, just to kind of, just change the tone of the block a little bit. So I'm with you guys there. But either way, tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below.